was super irritating.
Good afternoon, and welcome to DieDragonDie presents the Legends Campaign, episode 67. I'm your DM and host, Marty, joined by Adam and Mark. We have no idea where Ahmed is right now. I think he's blowing out candles on a birthday cake, is what he said, sort of, in his own Ahmed way.
I don't imagine it was that clean if the word blowing was in there. I don't know.
He was blowing candles on a birthday cake is what I heard. I don't know.
Yep. I think he said he was blowing a cake.
It was blowing a cake.
It was blowing a cake. And we just basically lost it at that point. There was no recovering. There was no recovering conversation at that point. We all started giggling. He's like, "Screw you guys," and then went and blew his cake, I guess. No, he's they're at some kid's birthday something
Birthday
or
party.
other. Yeah. I don't know if it's his kids or what.
Whose kids?
His kids go to bed early. He'll be here soon.
Yep. How was everyone's week?
I can't complain.
Mark, you've got 3 bars. What did you guys do? What did you do?
I reset my router.
Fuck yeah! It was all clogged.
So
The pipes were clogged.
I looked up. I'm not going to call him out, but Mark's ISP, and of the Sudbury providers, they're the one that have a 1.9 ranking out of 5, 1.5 star, 1.9 stars, which is less than half of all the other ISPs that are available in Sudbury in terms of their customer rankings.
I get unlimited downloads and internet because I am grandfathered in and will not give that up.
Well, you now just know you need to reset the router before game. Like, it's 3 bars. We haven't seen Mark at 3 bars in forever.
Look at he can move.
Cool.
He can move. He's not stop motion.
Oh, so communication is key in D&D and all things, really. But
Yeah.
Okay, so what were we saying? Week.
How was the
your week? Yeah. Mark's is okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
3 bars. Adam, tell us about
good.
the doves.
The doves are all grown up and they left the nest. But then some other bird, I'm assuming it's a dove, left a taco in the nest. So there's a taco like a hard shell taco, just the shell. There's a taco shell as like bitch bait in the thing. Like, it's the big pimpin'. It's like I got taco shell. Who wants to be like taco?
South Park. Ruiner of words. Right. Funny. All right. So yeah, okay. Taco.
So,
Dove taco.
Dove taco.
Dove
It
taco.
is.
Do I tell this story? Sure, why not? So Friday morning, I woke up to a flurry of Facebook messages. Maybe I shouldn't tell this. No, we'll go ahead. A Facebook message is saying, "Are you okay? Like, are you alive?" I'm like, "What?" I'm getting ready for work. And it just kept on coming, and I realized it was from people from in the town where kind of next to Seattle, where I used to live. Apparently, somebody went into this one place where I hung out, into this one bar where I frequented to do karaoke, and said, "Oh, Marty died yesterday." And they're like, "Which Marty? The guy who comes here and sings, the white guy with the beard." And apparently, they all started crying. And nobody thought at the time to like text me or like just to make sure it was
Double check
Marty.
and make sure it was.
At first I was really mad because I didn't know that actually it was some white dude with a beard named Marty that also sang at this bar.
Some other non-affiliated
Marty. Other Marty died. Condolences. And then I was less mad, but I still all day yesterday and a little bit this morning was still talking to people going, "Nope, I'm still okay. I'm doing my own thing over here. You're a Facebook friend of mine." It would have taken one text. But no, apparently there was a lot of crying. Another friend of mine said at least they didn't fill Facebook messages with, "Oh, I fucking hated that guy." Whole reams of chat rooms of how much they hate Marty. But that was sort of
I
a
had
weird.
to listen to Depeche Mode one more time.
Right, exactly. Or Ozzy one more time. Yeah. So that was the interesting thing that happened this week. Aside from that, was work and recovering from cold. Yeah. So why don't we do a recap of what happened? I'm going to do a recap of what happened in the last 2 games, because this has been some epic shit going on.
A lot of stuff has happened. There was dicks punched all around. We got our dick punched. We punched other people in the dick. There was lots of it.
Episode 65 was called The Gods That Bleed, atop Mount Mog. The battle between the heroes of Aegis and the Kaiju King Moguru and Moonworm was joined by the surviving demigods of the Aztlan Pantheon. They are angered by recent actions and at gun-toting mortals in general. The titanic struggle and actions of those involved attract the attention of something much worse, i.e. the Queen of Chaos, and Amensa will never be the same. The party GTFO'd.
Amensa's still cool.
Episode 66, How a Real King Fights. Uther, Lemmy, and Isilden pay a visit to the Sleeping Knot in search for safe havens from Thimblewinter and answers about the fate of Oberon. Donovan, Altagar, and Midwick travel to Vossensaga to meet High King Ogmund and sneak a peek at the completed Lenormhorn crown. They find that the High King is somewhat mad with power and tries to mentally dominate Altagar with violent results. Dvergholm is forced to issue challenge for High Kingship. King Trud follows suit. In their travels, the heroes meet refugees from a world sundered by Surt.
Yeah.
I'll just let that sink in for a moment. In their quest to find weapons of power, the heroes of Aegis travel to Targus and confront the Ouroboros with thousands of Targosian centaurs as witness.
Yes.
The prize at stake? Gezar's hammer, which Uther laid hands upon after Lemmy plucked it from the ethereal plane and has turned big and is now showing off in front of all of these Targosian
This
centaurs.
artifact didn't cause a giant hole to go to the realm of chaos and have shit rain from the sky. This is a good artifact. The other artifact is a bad artifact, because when you touch it, shit opens up in the sky and stuff rains down. So the hammer's better.
All right. So you guys are basically Uther shows off for a while. This one leader of some of the centaurs does approach and bows to Uther. His name is Tyrus Ironmine, including Summer Moon and Skyhunter, the centaurs that you met before. They're the ones that may have spread the word that you were going to confront the Ouroboros. And it does look like at least 30 other centaurs, by the number of bodies littered around this Karn of the Hammer, have tried to attack Ouroboros and have failed. Who knows how many others turned into snakes and were simply absorbed by the Ouroboros itself.
Altagar was protecting the centaurs from charging the Ouroboros during the fight, just in case Mark hasn't.
Yeah, Isilden and Altagar basically stood at and took on charges of centaurs that were trying to get to Ouroboros before you guys could. And they were asked to do it non-lethally, so Isilden was basically hamstringing centaurs, and Altagar was just waving his big glaive around, commanding the battlefield. All right, they are starting to chant Uther and Gezar, and they are actually bowing when Uther presents the hammer up high. I think waving it around like he intends on keeping it and using it.
Anybody got a problem with it?
No challengers come forth. Give me a sense motive.
All right. Sorry, it's 18 from Uther, and Donovan 48.
Donovan notices that about a third of the gathered centaurs are are like almost hero worshipping Uker. It's not just because of Uker, it's because of the story that has led up this far, and that Gezar, well, was basically an ancestor of theirs. About a third just appreciate that of what Uker did. They are bowing their heads or like acknowledging Uker's triumph. And maybe about the last third, and suspiciously, Donovan, these centaurs seem to be a little more twisted looking. They've got horns. Some of them have more bestial faces. They don't seem to be as heart swooned.
They're less hippie.
They don't seem to be swooning by this victory. There may be problems in the future. None of them look like they're coming forth to challenge him, however. As Altagar and Azildan have kind of proved that they can take on like a whole charge of hundreds of centaurs, and then they actually saw the battle. I think they're conceding victory. But there might be a for now. You do see some really large, twisted-looking centaurs. Big horns. Some of them with ram's horns, some of them like with antlers. They're definitely of a different tribe. They kind of like remind you of like a drop of Fomori mixed in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this
Did you go full legs? I can't trip you. I can trip you.
oh, and you tripped a bunch, taking out the four legs of these horse centaurs. They're just a little bit harder to push down, but King Altagar is the chief at pushing down. Tyrus Ironmine rides forward with a lot of the centaurs.
Does he ride forward or does he walk forward?
I guess he walks forward. And he's proclaiming you, Uker, the reincarnation of Gezar.
I am Uker. Gezar.
The chanting of Gezar soon turns to Uker. Some of the centaurs are actually on the fringes are leaving, but others are staying and celebrating Uker's victory.
Uker, the sense mode of DC, not very much, likes this.
The story goes, and it just sort of recapping what Uker knows. The story goes is that these were some of the best Akunians at horsemanship, and then following their particular leader, became horsemen. Tataros was the most successful of Gezar's generals. So these might be some weird Akunian evolution. They speak Akunian, though. Most of them do. They also speak like Gezarian, which is like several hundred year kind of mix of cultures with Akunian as base. But
Uka, are you just planning on yelling at them for a bit? They yell back, or something more? A couple thousand horsemen would be useful.
I think we've got our couple 100 pounds of this liquid stuff, says Lemmy, having crafted some stone bowls that Uker can carry away with this very, very dangerous green liquid that polymorphs you into snakes.
Yeah. And also can be used to reincarnate things in some fashion or another.
Interesting.
Yes. Ahmed on cell phone.
Ahmed's here. Ahmed's here. I'm here. Spirit.
You're in spirit?
He's here in gray
we
box
started
form.
streaming. We started streaming.
Yeah,
yet?
we are streaming.
Yeah,
dude.
we're live, son.
So
Okay. I got
filters up.
it. Okay. I'll keep it bottled in as long as I can.
As if the presence of his children shouldn't be enough.
Just don't want to comment.
See, he thinks I'm funny.
Good times. I might silence. I might go mute for a second. I might go mute for a second just to do the yelling, but we'll be good.
Okay.
Good. All right. So Donovan was asking Uker whether or not he was going to. Donovan's
something-
at -5 wisdom damage right now.
A whole bunch of people took wisdom damage from witnessing the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is scary, man.
Wait, we beat the Ouroboros?
Makes your mind blink.
Yeah.
Lemmy's gonna drop. Lemmy's gonna drop a heal on people.
Yeah. You
How
guys.
did you play?
That'll fix.
We played till like 1 in the morning.
Oh, where you are? Holy
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, that would have been like. I left at 1:30. I'm like, okay, well they're not gonna fight Ouroboros tonight. I gotta do this.
Yeah. All this green stuff is the Ouroboros' blood, and it started draining down into an underground passage, and they found the hammer sitting in the ethereal plane.
Okay, I missed much. All right.
Yeah. Uker, that's why we're describing Uker, King Altagar and Isildan, while the fight was going on, these centaurs, there were thousands of them still kind of riding around. It looked like they had spent like maybe a season trying to attack the Ouroboros in different ways, and the two of you were keeping the centaurs from charging into their death, basically.
Okay.
Some of the centaurs are leaving. Some of them are simply going back to the camp that they had maybe half a mile away from.
So,
from this,
Uker still
from
has
this
the
area.
big boomy display of Constitution voice.
Yep.
No, we have hammer. Next we get bow. War comes.
Okay. You're pretty sure, Donovan, that Uker could have yelled anything to have all of the centaurs cheer, but you decide not to tell Uker that.
Yes.
Many of the centaurs are cheering. A lot of them are like looking around to see what this means. The bow is lost, says Tyrus Ironmine.
Demon of Gnolls challenges Uker. Uker will accept challenge. Yeenoghu is numbered.
The Gnolls are on Forlinde, says a really old, an old centaur, an old Targosian. Then Forlinde we go to battle the Gnolls.
Is that what you were trying to do? No.
Sometimes your plans backfire.
That is...
Welcome to the
Yes!
club.
Well, at least we know what army's gonna be backing us up, huh?
For Gezer! For Uker!
Anytime you want to convince them something particularly, just let me know. You seem to have a handle on it. Yeah.
Yeah, Donovan and Lokrik, by any chance, if you see any materials that perhaps you could use to craft a plane of rot, point them out and I'd like to pick them up, please. We are in a place that perhaps we might be able to see the material, or even in the air.
Lokrik wasn't here.
Oh, Donovan.
You're correct. Lokrik wasn't here. It
Yeah.
was... I thought he was.
No.
Sorry.
Lokrik's back in Dvergholm, seething.
Yes, he is. Why? Oh, yes.
He's because he had
we
to
started a war.
we did a boo boo.
We started a war. We did a bad thing.
I say we.
We did
I
it.
don't know. I kind of think I could get this to be on Altagar. I
thing.
don't know.
Well, no, I mean, really, if Midwick had noticed it, he would have opened fire. But Midwick didn't see it. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh
But
yes.
it's cool. He didn't see it, so good job.
Tyrus.
Yeah, you notice a bunch of centaurs were coming up to you to basically flex and run away.
Do any of you have weapons forged of steel from this world?
Tyrus nods. He says something that Ukur doesn't like too much. However, he says, the Targosians have many mines. The mine slaves pull metal from there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What mind slaves?
What's a mind slave?
What is that?
Weak men, he says to you, and then he turns to the others and is like celebrating with the others as alcohol is being...
No.
Weak men, battle captives.
Say mind slave or mine slave?
Mine slaves.
Mine, as in
Oh, mine
people
slave.
gathering rock. Not
Oh.
not mind. That'd be much worse.
Who's making them slaves?
Aren't they quaint?
A very
Centaurs.
potent, a very potent kind of potato alcohol is being brought out. It's almost moonshine-ish and
I'm happy to get drunk. Is anybody offended by getting drunk with centaurs? Because I don't
No,
know.
I don't want to. I hope none of them like gnomes. It'll be a rough day for my guys.
King Drud, King Altagar, and a mystery opponent.
Okay, so you guys spend the evening or the rest of the day drinking with centaurs, the Targosians, on spend evening drinking with Targosian centaurs.
Yep.
All right. We'll try to acquire. We will. Uker would like to bet a centaur for his masterwork sword.
Got it.
That's
If,
me
if
here.
you're trying to gather materials, yeah, these guys are friendly. Uker and the others can strategically try to gather up components that may be considered
Right, just enough material
Yep.
to make a rod.
Who is your crafter here that gets to determine the components that are required? Or do any of you have knowledge? Yeah, do you have any crafting skills and knowledge planes?
Lemmy has knowledge planes, but I don't have crafting
So-
material for this.
Uker has knowledge planes and craft alchemy and culinary, which not really related to weaponry. Donovan has knowledge planes and knows how to craft tear-jerking music performance.
I don't think that's a craft, but sure.
So we'll overdo it with materials because we're not
So I
sure
think-
what we're needing.
Midwick would be the only one who's... Midwick doesn't know anything.
Who's like, what?
Okay, so I need a knowledge.
what do you need from
I
me?
need a
What?
knowledge planes roll and a spellcraft roll then.
Okay. Donovan would kind of, I think, be the best suit for that.
Lemmy's going to auto aid.
29 on the knowledge planes and 27 on the spellcraft.
Okay, you guys end up gathering up some components. You buy and contest your way through a few weapons. Given that the centaurs have just witnessed an awesome victory, you're able to spend your time with them basically trying to acquire the things that you need. So write down you've got components for a planar rod to Targos.
Okay.
Give it right now.
Components, planar rod to Targos. Okay, Donovan
Okay.
is going to cast a vision.
Okay, so it's first off, it's next morning. I guess that night, if vision doesn't take very long.
I think vision takes a standard action, but
That would be not very long.
that would be not very long. Yeah.
What's the vision on?
Chaos Hammer of Doom.
Oh, okay. Oh, you want to know what the artifact does? I gotcha. You sure you
You're
don't wanna
swinging
leave
it
that
around,
later?
going, "What does it do?"
Right. Give me a second. So, Lemio knew that this thing was just unbridled. He might be a little bit worried about the hammer itself. And then,
I know. Why doesn't Altagar pick it up and see if he can tear a rift in time and space?
No,
Alright.
don't bring the law creatures here.
Is vision just a standard action legend lore?
It's a standard action legion lore. Yeah.
Okay.
That causes fatigue.
All right. So I have a picture for the hammer.
Nice.
Once I finish reading this, I'll just paste it into the OneNote right now. Hammer of Gezar. I'll put it under. Where are the other things? Party pages?
Yeah.
I'll drag it to the top for now. You guys can figure out where to put it. Alright, the Hammer of Gezar. This is what Donovan learns. It's one of two great weapons wielded by the great god-born hero Gezar. Gezar won the hammer after defeating the great Mangus of the Earth. Upon defeating her, he took the hammer and bathed it in her blood. This is how the hammer gained most of its powers, but not all. When Gezar was older and the demands of ruling his many kingdoms grew great, he poured into his two weapons his recklessness and youthful temperament so he could rule his kingdoms more effectively. It is a +6 anarchic maul. A maul is a exotic weapon. You can wield it with one hand with the EWP feat, otherwise it's two-handed. Its crit range is increased from 20 times 3 to 19 20 times 3. It is unbreakable, like most
Artifacts.
artifacts are. And once per day, when you strike someone with the hammer, as a free action or as part of the attack roll, you can have that person under the effect of a killing blow, which is equivalent to a power word kill at caster level 20. Basically, the hammer can stop someone's heart.
So, Mythic Vital Strike, basically add 100 damage to the total, and if they have less hit points than that, they die.
You know that this particular weapon, Gezar's Chaos, was put into it. Gezar was like a great explorer and went and broke many things and and like conquered a lot. And he was not conventional, and that's part of what he shed in order to become a better ruler. And this weapon has captured his chaos.
Oh, don't worry, Azzy. It's a fine hammer.
The last thing that you learn from the hammer is that the person who uses it over time may not only become chaotic, but may start to show the fighting styles, or may start to mimic the fighting styles of Gezar himself, who was a warrior, and we can kind of label that as a fighter.
It's
So it's not complete transformation into Gezar, but there's stuff of Gezar that still lingers in the hammer.
Will make you fight like Gezar. Well, that's a good thing.
And,
well, I don't know.
And you don't think it manifests the same way, in that like any one of you has multiple different ways of fighting. You have like you have a dozen or so class powers, you have different attack routines, you have different ways of doing it. You don't know how that's going to manifest. The chaos part and the what I've labeled as fighter transformation, those parts were basically Gezar's putting his spirit into the weapon.
He put the like. It might be his pure savagery. Might be the fighter bit, like the the things he didn't need to rule.
Now this is the second epic item that you guys have got in your party. The first one is it an Iron Stone, or is it the one that Lemmy
wisdom
has?
item.
Yeah, the Wisdom Gem. +8.
Yeah, it's the wisdom item.
It's the pommel. It's the gem for a scabbard.
Yep. And +6 Anarchic Maul is also an epic item. I'm going to basically use the old epic handbook and kind of convert it to Pathfinder. I've seen a couple of conversions on the web, but really for the prices of magic items, you can use that as a guide if you're curious.
So this will work on God. Maybe? Should be? Potentially?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Altagar, Azzy, no Crick, although he's not here. This is Uka's hammer. It's considered like the other one where you're not really supposed to touch it.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Good.
That's fine. Zildin just shrugs. Don't look like I'll use amiss.
Right, here you go, Archie Monk.
I'm just. We've already made one hole.
Lemmy starts flexing. I'll remember not to use it. Whew.
Well,
That's supposed to be a joke, you know. I can't. I don't.
I've never stuck Jotun on someone I didn't like. I wonder how that would go. Knock them down and put it on them.
All right. Throughout that evening, you have multiple centaurs, both young and older, of lower ranks and higher, all basically swearing to run with you. There are some of the elders that say that they'll gather the other prides, the other tribes of Targosians, and the word will spread. And not a gnoll will be left standing is kind of the general... They are... Donovan, you know that they know who the Gnolls are, and they might actually remember the events around Yeenoghu.
They are like the hated enemy.
Yeah.
They are the hated foe, like a racial hated foe type thing.
One of them. They instead... And they know why you're going to fight Yeenoghu. They actually know you're going to take the iron bow back. In fact, that's what's expected of you now that you're wielding the hammer. They've already worked this out over the last, 100 years or so.
It's going to happen. They're going to come here first. The monks are over there. They're going to come here first.
There was something I was thinking about, guys. When we go to fight that Gnoll king, what's going to happen with all the Gnolls in the city? I mean, isn't it possible that he set him up so that they can, as like a hostage? He'll say, like, if you attack, if you attack me, I'll make sure the Gnolls destroy Bartertown. It's possible.
We don't let that happen.
Well, there's really little that we can do regarding that, right?
Sure we can. Stop Gnoll.
Donovan hears a lot of
Right.
stories about how Gnolls are savage raiders. They eat people. They should never be trusted. You'd never want one as a neighbor, let alone just in the same vicinity as you. Blood rights, cannibalism, skinning people, them all trying to mimic the most powerful Gnoll that has ever walked, and that is Yeenoghu, who wears the bits of armor from all of the fallen foes, and they say that his triple flail is built from the bones of the prior Gnoll god, and that acts of great savagery and butchery are the only things that he really cares about.
It does not actually sound like the Gnolls that we've seen.
They describe basically a chaotic evil race.
Yeah. But the Gnolls that we've seen are
Yeah, let's kill them all.
chaotic neutral, maybe?
Yeah, Donovan, they seem like lazy
We should destroy
liabouts,
them
but
all. Each and every one.
Sorry, Azzy, what was that? I could hear over the ticking of the turn
Must be
signal.
destroyed, each and every one.
Oh, sorry. On my end.
well, keep your turn signal on if you need to.
The Gnolls need to be destroyed, each and every one.
We're good.
They're becoming entitled people. We need to remind them they're not
But-
entitled to anything in Bartertown.
They're also people of free will, are they not?
Well, not once they're
Seen some of
dead.
them.
It'll be fine, don't worry.
You've seen some of them back at the temple there, right? I mean, just like everybody.
tell you
else
what.
out here.
The ones that is running away, I won't put arrows in them. At least not many.
It's not the worst. Not the best. We don't have time for what you speak. There are many pressing concerns.
Your last trip
But-
through Bartertown, the Gnolls probably equaled the population of everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah, we kill the puppy king there, and the rest will run. The ones that don't, well, I'm sure the locals can take care of them.
The Gnoll King guy, Poof, will, he'll know. He'll help, or he'll be in the way.
Well, if he gets in the way, we know what happens to him, don't we?
But it'd be much easier if he helped.
Yeah, I don't think he will. So
We
I'd
could be
soon
very
do a
persuasive.
to the god. Best to change them all. Best to just change them all.
And then we're going to use the hammer and the bow to both prove that we can get back to save, or to go to Uka's world to fight a bear, as well as use this hammer to collect a piece of the Moguru. Yes. So that the god that is supposed to kill Fenris can kill Fenris.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't really care if he kills Fenris or not.
Well, Fenris kills Odin,
Yeah.
and Odin dying is bad.
No, Odin's gonna die anyway.
Well,
You don't understand. This chap who wants his dagger, he's gonna wait until Thor and Odin die before he kills Fenris. That's his plan.
then we need the dagger, and we kill Fenris before Fenris kill Odin.
All the more reason to get that wolf out of you then, eh? He
I
taps you in
agree
the
with
chest.
that plan.
That's good. That's a very good point, actually, because I don't want to fight Fenris with you having a wolf in you. It won't be that bad.
Right. So we get the bull,
Yeah, it
take care of the
will.
bear and the wolf.
Yes. And remember, we have a mess to clean up back on Fosgard as well.
Oh, right, forgot that.
Deadlines. Humans and your tight timelines. I say that, there's not that many humans here. Those humans and their tight timelines. Although I'm surprised the god gave you such a short timeline.
Well, he's a human god.
Why is everybody shit-talking human? We're pretty good. I was able to kill the big thing. Everybody's, oh, look at my hammer and my other hammer. I am the best. I have two hammers.
He's got Jotun Grinner in one hand and the Maul in the other.
Oh yeah, I forgot the humble too.
Yes, we are the most humble.
That's a good name for tonight. So we are the most humble.
Now let's go kill a god.
Potato wine. Right. We'll let the centaurs gather.
Yeah, you spend an evening. It looks like Uther was a little bit drunk when he was proclaiming he was the most humble. A little red in the face, we'll say. Morning comes.
Centaur's got a lot of body mass, to keep up with.
Yep. Morning comes. It is the 3rd of Ivy, which is the middle month of autumn.
Which means it's starting to get cold on top of cold.
Yep.
Extra cold.
Randomly, how's it going? The centaurs basically are saying they will converge upon the temple at Teb.
Peaceably, yes.
You are starting to suspect, Donovan, this might be a problem if centaurs start showing up en masse to use the portal in the Temple of Teb to go wage war in Bartertown. In fact, you're guessing at least 40 of them are already on their way. Like, let's go now! You know, that kind of thing. And
they're centauring it up. Uka. They're not going to wait. Lemmy, how close are you to gate spells?
Or I don't know how to cast that too much unless I get another one of these
Oh.
papers.
Sorry,
I didn't know if you were still there or not.
No, well, actually, fairly soon. These candles allow me to do it, and I've got cats around me because I summon them. But the candles allow me to cast at a higher, to know higher circles. So, if once we rest and we learn the next circle, I should be able to cast gate. I.e., we are 8th. We are 17th. Once we hit 18th, I should be able. Or sorry, once we hit 15, I should be able to do it. Fairly soon, I should be able to do it. Just gotta kill a few more gods. All right.
Gonna kill a few more gods.
Is that all? Okay.
Oh, now we have hammer.
Hubris.
Yes, I suppose a quick consult with the some of the priests of Teb would be in order. Are all the rings the exact same size?
Yep. That you've seen. You haven't seen any like mega rings or little tiny ones.
A little tiny one would be useful because then we could take a ring through a ring. Then we could have a ring in a ring. And then we just create a sphere of annihilation because it's just nope.
We heard you like to teleport, so we put a ring inside of a ring so you can teleport when I teleport.
Yeah, there's a problem. This also has a time frame. This 60 miles means they're going to take them a day or two.
Yeah, couple days.
They'll take at least a couple of days to get there. Donovan is going to inquire as to how far away the tribes are.
Yeah, they basically said they can get an army together, the Great Tribes together, probably in a month or two.
Good. The power of Gezar is very...
It'll take a season if they bring their slave spears.
Don't worry about the slave spears.
You realize the centaurs may capture and
Field
make
slave
slaves
units?
out of humanoids.
Oh, well, they need somebody to be pikemen. They need somebody
and these
to
slaves
scratch
basically
asses and stuff.
work their minds and might very well act as the cannon fodder,
Yeah.
the shield fodder, if you will, spear fodder. Yeah.
Draw the arrows.
Yep.
Yeah, they make two of them like work together, where one bends over, and then they have like a little drape going over the back, so it looks like a horse. And
No.
all right.
There are some things that Uker may, if Uker has any intention on ruling over these people, he may want to fix.
Yes. Also, hey, look at the cool guy with the hammer. Everything you do is wrong. That's not the right way. He doesn't have the diplomacy for that.
Yep. He might at some point have to stick his chaos into a weapon so he could rule more weird.
Weird. That'll go into the other hammer. Yes! Yes! Thor, take my chaos!
Okay, on the 3rd of Ivy, so you spent some time drinking with the Targosians. The
Yep.
Targosians, Uker accidentally...
Donovan is going to try to convince Tyrus that gathering here is the most effective place to gather because it has the strongest connection to Gisen.
To wage war against the Gnolls of Forlinde. He asks why. He knows that this place is special, but the reason why it's special, and he points over at Uker. Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. Don't overrun the local town full of monks with all the crazy horse people.
Oh yeah, we flashed this earlier. I can flash it again.
I think we should bring the horse people. They'll take care of the Gnolls. We'll take care of Yeenoghu.
44 is the diplomacy check. I
Nice.
didn't choose just because we might be fighting a god today. I don't want to burn up Mythic.
Yep, and I can paste what the powers are if you wanted to look.
Dude, we can take a day off. Don't worry.
It's like a two-handed maul with a metal head. It's got kind of these weird spikes on the ends of them.
It's
and-
awesome.
Yeah.
Hammers are awesome.
We can send Yeenoghu a message saying, "Hey, we're gonna be there in a month," and show up the next day.
And there's Jotungrainer. So basically, he's got a hammer in each hand.
Yep. That's basically how he's
Grander's-
walking around these days.
More of a throwing hammer. It looks very close to Mjolnir, but with a longer haft.
Longer handle.
And then he's got the hammer of Gezar, which is like a two-handed maul. He could wield it one-handed, but it's a -4 non-weapon proficiency penalty to do so.
And I might even take 2 up in fighting just to just because it's hilarious.
Cool. Okay, so 44, he agrees that it's a good idea that before they go on their... And he's saying a word that is kind of like a mixture of crusade, jihad, and campaign.
They're going on an ass kick.
That's not a red flag at all.
They will come and give offerings to Gezar.
Good.
Before heading to the gate. So you've delayed their mustering by probably 2 days. Maybe a day if they linger to give prayer and offering.
Perfect.
So 1 to 2 months plus 3 days.
Rounding, yes. Plus or minus, 5%. No red flags here. Hey, Mark. When has any of Uker's plot lines had any sort of red flags about them?
Your character should be named Red Flag.
That's another title, a possible title for tonight. Red Flag.
At least I won't worship a devil. All right, so
now the poop flinging begins.
No, your character's more disruptive. No, yours is.
Oh, use.
Why don't we come together? The bard has disintegrate. Everybody is destructive.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so the next morning, you had a quick conversation with more sober Targosians, but these Targosians are the epitome of warrior, melded with their horse long ago from a warrior culture, and have been awaiting for payback against the Gnolls who stole one of their artifacts from them. They have prophecies about this. The one who would pick up the hammer, the one that defeats the Ouroboros and takes the hammer, will be the one that gets the bow. And then you're not too sure what happens after that in their minds, but
we eat him.
Oh.
They seem to think that Gezar will return. Maybe it's the centaurs' version of what the monks of Teb are kind of saying.
As long as they hope they don't get their legs back, because I can't do. I can do the other stuff, but I can't. Yes, we should probably inform the priests of Teb of our victory. Sounds like a good idea. Yes, everyone agreed.
Yes, right. We could do that. Are we going to? I assume we're going to leave them here and just teleport, right? We don't have to do this walking around with your. I don't do that.
We're currently in a race, and we want to beat them there.
Walking it is. All right. See when you're ready.
Okay. Remember, not inside the.
I know. You have to relinquish our weapons. I know.
Except for hammer, and maybe other hammer. Hammer. Yes. All right. Let's go. We'll teleport. I'm going to tick off the wisdom damage.
This is the next day, right? Your wisdom, your damage should be gone. All your wisdom damages should be gone.
Next day.
And Marty, just to confirm, we did get materials that may be used to craft a rod of plane of travel to this place?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so you appear at the Temple of Teb. Within about an hour, you find yourselves being asked to wait for the... What was his name? Hustafa Cheng, the Chamberlain of the Temple of Teb, because the Great Lama of Teb wants to see the hammer.
Well, maybe the great llama of Teb should get off his ass and come see. Altagar thinks to himself.
Yeah, they bring you to a waiting. They bring you to a waiting area in the temple. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of people that are scurrying around the hallways, peeking into the chamber to get to grab a look. There's lots of whispering and excitement in the air about the hammer being recovered.
Mm. Yes.
I knew
As a
there was-
weapon, he can now take on the castle. No.
I knew there was something about you, says the old man, and he. This is the old wise master that you met in Bartertown that originally, when you had first contact with the monks of Teb. Congratulations on your victory against the Ouroboros.
It was very strong opponent.
He just bows to you and smiles and leaves you away, but or leaves you alone. Coming in are a flurry of monks. Some of them kind of armed like Altagar is, with long spears, and about as much armor as a monk could have before he's no longer a monk. Like little pauldrons.
Strategically, coins strategically sewed into his clothes at a few spots.
Yep. There's a little silver dragon that comes skidding into the room unceremoniously. He's kind of like on all fours, like a cat, looking at you.
Altagar steps on it.
Ew.
You're pretty sure he said. You're pretty sure he said hi in Draconic. Hi.
Aye.
And he skitters towards the door just as several, about 6 bald-headed monks are carrying in, kind of on a palanquin, the chair. There's no great llama in the chair at the moment. Pick, the silver dragon, climbs up onto the side of the chair and waits, looking at you again. He might be a little dumb. He might be too young, because he says hi to you again when he's at the other height.
Hi. Oh, you're cute.
The first to come in is Hustafa Cheng. I see that you have succeeded where so many others have failed. Good and evil have all sought this great hammer. He was about to reach out to touch it, but he decided not to, perhaps remembering some properties.
Donovan was sort of like getting ready to go.
That might hurt a little.
It's exhilarating hammer.
Please make sure that you do not touch the hammer or bring it anywhere near our great and wise Lama of Teb.
Of course.
In fact, if you would not mind placing it upon the table over there for his inspection.
Okay. We'll put it on the table.
Okay.
Doesn't. See, Jotun Granner doesn't move when you put it places. This one, they got to be a little bit more like some jackass could steal this one. I don't know how this. I don't know how I feel about this.
Put Joan Greer on top of it. It's my paperweight.
Pick's looking at it. He shakes his head. He hisses at the hammer a little bit.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't like touching it, little one.
Demon hammer.
No. Chaos hammer.
Same thing.
Not quite. Chaos can be used to fight for good. Demons cannot.
You're an elf. Elves are good. Elves are chaos.
sometimes.
They need dragon help.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dragons are mighty allies of elves.
No. Dragons are sovereigns.
In some worlds.
Sovereign is sovereign.
Are you a sovereign?
Yes. Will be, yes.